That's where it starts from. But here's it. Remember some time ago they talk about legends. And when we say legend, it's not the general concept of a legend. You say, oh, Zidane is a legend of football. Legend is a story that happens that you get just like a folk tale.
Yeah.
That they tell you about what happened. Probably you weren't there. And in world football, there are two legends. Whether you watch them or not, you always hear about Pelé. In those days when Pelé played football, when there's a war in a rebels unit and everyone will stay calm because Pelé is in town. That's how powerful, and that's how powerful the legend of Pelé has been. Moving forward, you saw the legend of Maradona. There was no real skill in world football. Then the father of modern football came in, Diego Armando Maradona. I watch a World Cup and I see the likes of Lothar Matthäus look him to the face and tell him, I'm going to kill you today on the pitch. I watch him being injured in a World Cup final and had to be injected by the field side so he could play and finish the game. I watch him retire. When I say I watch him, so what someone might think I was right there. Maybe I just followed the legend story, never really watched all of it. But look, he fight for the World Cup, and I had to go call a very fat Maradona, and he was doing road walk around the streets, and the whole media and the whole world were following him. Came back, scored for Argentina, led Argentina to the World Cup. That's a legend. But finally we saw Lionel Andres Messi. Most often than not, most legends are called with three names. Diego Armando Maradona. That's how you get qualified. You have to get to that legendary status. So we start calling you with your three names. Otherwise we stick with 2 or 1. But Messi just did that. Quality footballer. It was the World Cup at last for me. And he did. But when it has to do with this era, he's the greatest in modern football.
Now, beyond the veneer of the more popular Lionel, let's talk about Scaloni, the coach of the side. Now, how much credit does he deserve when you consider the background story when he got the job?
Yeah.
The criticisms that followed. There were talks about his inexperience and, of course, his lack of creativity and all of that. But beyond all of that, he's put together a team that has given a shot winning the FIFA World Cup.
I agree. One of the things that's always happened in Argentina would be bringing coaches who really can help Messi. I remember the 2014 World Cup got to the finals, and sometimes some of the World Cups they played, you'll be seeing some quality players on the bench. And some other players, starting even Maradona himself, made those mistakes in those days. But the beauty about Scaloni is everyone he brought had one purpose: help Leo win the World Cup. And finally it happened. Look at the finals. One key index would be bringing in Angel Di Maria for me. I refuse to call him Angel now, because he was the angel on the night. He started that first 2 goals for them, quite dominant, bringing some level in the job for you. And he did exactly that. When he was substituted, Argentina fell behind. But always going to thank the coach. Did a fantastic job. And Leo was just looking for a system that he would walk in. And he created that system, and the rest was for Leo to do on the field of play. And it happened for him. Exceptional stuff.
Now, let's talk about people delivering. Qatar delivered quite a show of a World Cup. Now, Argentina fans also delivered. We saw Argentina fans, they made up 90% of the fans inside the Lusail Stadium yesterday. Yeah. And then when you consider the distance between Argentina and Qatar, that means 19 hours flight time. But they were there in their numbers. Now let's talk about the people on the pitch. 2 teams, high quality game, 2 iconic figures, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe. Well, it looks like it was a day of deliverables.
Wonderful World Cup, let me say so. The biggest World Cup I've seen in history. When the World Cup in Qatar started, everyone said, no, it shouldn't be in Qatar, it shouldn't be in Qatar, but we've not seen anything like this. I think to cap it all was that moment when Lionel Messi was given that role. And I call him Abdul Salim Darim El Bin Lionel Messi. Wonderful, look at it. Abdul Salim Darim El Bin Lionel Messi. But he had to talk about one man.
Yeah.
It was Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
And I was
the
thinking,
first World Cup hat-trick since 1966.
That wasn't my problem, right, James? My problem was, what was he thinking? That teammates in club football. And he's telling, oh, I know where he's coming from.
But he wanted that to be his night as well. As much as Lionel Messi wanted that, he wanted it too.
I think he didn't do it for himself alone. also was trying to do it for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. He's a keen follower of Cristiano Ronaldo. He's his idol. But on the other hand, Kylian,
Yeah.
Lionel Messi was playing everything, and Kylian was saying, it's not time.
Yeah.
I have to be in the history
Not
book
today.
first. Not today. He did everything. But one thing I learned and one thing I saw was the fact that while we saw the present becoming the past in Lionel Messi, there was a change of pattern to Kylian Mbappe, the present becoming the future. It goes on to give a possibility of another outlook of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylian Mbappe, and Erling Haaland moving forward. But one is from a disadvantaged country, Norway. But this is what I want to add in all the stories. The French national team, they've done phenomenally well. The coach, Deschamps, when you're down 2 goals.
Yeah, we'll talk about, you know, France and the future for them in a bit, and the job Didier Deschamps has done. But let's talk about Argentina. I understand even when they got to the finals in 2014, Javier Mascherano was the leader of that team. But we've seen Lionel Messi stand up in this tournament like never before. The way he's talked to the coach, the way he's talked to officials, the way he's talked to opponents to protect himself and his teammates, the way he stood up for them. Well, there's no excuse here. Well, he stood up and indeed led this team through to the World Cup finals and that ultimate trophy.
The gods were with Messi. That's the way I could say it. The gods were with Messi. And it had to be a leader in this one. It had no choice. Before now, there were options. Either just Mascherano on the other side or one other big player around who could do the job for him. You know, he's a quiet fellow.
Yeah.
But I remember in one of those games when the referee said, the commentator said, he's done being the nice guy. Had to be the difficult guy and the tough guy here. And we saw it even the way they played. But the beauty about leadership is not just in talking, it's in doing the job. We saw a game against France. At some point, it seemed the Argentines were on the back foot. Then we gave up. Let's turn up to the party. And they did turn up to the party. Exceptional stuff from Lionel Messi. For the first time, I never used to believe there was a god of football. Finally, I saw it. On this journey for Lionel Messi, nature was with him. The fans were with him. FIFA was with him. Everything was with him. And the gods of soccer were with him. And Kylian Mbappe couldn't do anything about it.
No, let's leave Argentina and Messi for a bit and talk about France and Didier Deschamps. Well, France and Didier Deschamps particularly must be proud of the squad he's put together, the team he's brought in there. You look at the talent in that team, and of course, he must be proud and happy that they've got Kylian.
Yeah, he must be proud they got Kylian. But I think the thing the French side would be even more proud of would be the fact that the final game showed them the future. Because they were depending with the bigger guys, Griezmann, Giroud, and the rest, even Hernandez, not so big, but being part of that mix. But at first half, the Argentine took the big guys to the cliff. Massive.
Put on quite a show as well.
Camavinga came in.
It was for fun in between too.
Camavinga came in and you wonder why he was on the bench all this while.
Absolutely.
Colomboane came in, changed the direction of the ball. And I just wonder, why has he been having a bit of position? But let me use the words of Hugo Lloris. I think we've not really talked about Hugo Lloris a lot.
Yeah.
He's the highest cap player for the French national team. And it shows what he's done over the years. 4 massive World Cup appearances. Solid. Even Zidane didn't have such numbers. Lizarazu didn't have such numbers. The father Thuram didn't have such numbers. It's basically what it is. But here's what he said. The Mbappe generation is taking over. That game showed that the baton was switching hands. And the new leader of the French national team, Kylian Mbappe, and the likes of Colomboane, Thuram, Camavinga. But
no, Tchouaméni doesn't qualify technically. Now, the FIFA Technical Committee had said before now, to qualify to win, to stand a chance to win Young Player of the Year, you have to be 21 and under. Tchouaméni is 22.
Disappointing. Because when you see what the man did, the young lad did, he's 22, what he did at the age of 22. And when you look at the French national team and the midfield, not strong enough for such lad. Before now, we'll be talking about the likes of N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, even when Matuidi left.
Yeah.
But this man did what these fellows, you couldn't force him by any means. Exceptional talent for me for the future. And let me dare to say this, Brad James, the French national team might just win the World Cup in the next 3 editions.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to Canada and the USA. It's a joint hosting rights for the World Cup in 2026. Well, congratulations to Kylian Mbappe and France, finished second. Congratulations to Luka Modric and Croatia, finished third. congratulations to Sofian Amrabat of Morocco, finished 4th, and Lionel Messi guiding Argentina to their 3rd World Cup crown, his very first World Cup title. All right, so let's leave there and look at the fallout of the World Cup. Sofian Amrabat has enjoyed solid club football for Fiorentina, but even the president has confirmed there's been a lot of calls owing to his splufic performances in Qatar. Tottenham Hotspur have joined the long list of suitors. Liverpool are there. The man has made his choice. He would favour a move to Liverpool. Well, the way he plays and the way Jurgen Klopp plays, you think these two can come together and marry and the relationship can be fruitful?
Yeah, I think so, especially when you look at Liverpool, the way they play these days, and the players in that mix. You talk about
James Milner
can
has
run
been
a lot.
there as well.
Milner and this guy, what's
Thiago Alcantara has been there as well.
Alcantara too, who couldn't make the World Cup list for Spain.
Yeah.
So he'll be fine. He'll really fancy his chances playing for them in the middle. He's rock solid for me. If there's any way to describe Amrabat, solid midfielder for me.
All right, now we're looking forward to a lot more. We'll have stories come out of this particular World Cup, but of course we just keep enjoying transfers and return to club football in a bit. Thank you very much, Blyden, for fabulous show. Thoroughly appreciate you. We'll return here in the morning, 11 to 12, so be sure to join us then. For now, it's a wrap. I'm Bright James to enjoy the rest of your day.